I've had my JL now for a couple of months, and one thing that I still haven't done was putting my CB radio back in. Probably one of the biggest reasons why is I just couldn't find a place to mount the CB inside, and I haven't really been able to find the brackets to mount the antenna like I like. So I know some of you may be saying, why a CB radio and not ham or some other type of radio? The CB radio is excellent for close communication, so especially like traveling in a convoy. It's a great way to talk when you're close to one another, and it's good for a few miles. There's really no reason to broadcast a message to California when I'm just trying to reach the vehicle in front of me. So mainly what I wanted to show today is the antenna mount bracket that I found. I got this off of Amazon. It was 10 bucks. It's actually labeled as a spare tire delete bracket, and so that tells me that it's intended to be used if you're not carrying your spare tire. And there's also a review from somebody who's previously purchased this that I guess they didn't quite understand that it was for a spare tire delete, and when they got it, it didn't work the way it was out of the box. A couple things is it does interfere with the spare tire, and it also, something else that's kind of odd is the hole for the mount, for the antenna mount, is too small. So I pretty much got it knowing that I was going to have to modify it, but the reason why I liked it was because it was 10 bucks. Here's what I had to cut off of the bracket. About I don't know, inch and a quarter, inch and a half piece long. Just used a metal cutting blade, just cut it off, then ground it smooth like you see in the other picture. I've seen one option that's intended to mount here on the hinge brackets, but the one that I ended up going with actually is kind of like the old style for the JK, and I'll take the spare tire off and I'll show you, but it did require modification. The great thing it was, like I said, it was only 10 bucks. A lot of these brackets they want like $40 and such for, and this, to me, that's just ridiculous for a piece of metal to mount an antenna. So I'll show you this and how I did it, and then we have a cheap, easy bracket. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do on the inside. I'll show you what I've done just temporarily, and I'll talk about a particular option that I have found that I kind of like, but again, it's expensive, and so still exploring alternatives here. So let me get the spare tire off and I'll show you this bracket that I got and what it looks like. And actually, before I do that, I'll take this, get kind of a close up over here. With the tire on, you can see it's close. It is close, but everything clears. So when you run this cable through the backside, this piece right here you'll have to pop off. Comes off real easy, but still, I would say be cautious. Pull it off slowly. But basically, it's got those metal clips behind it, and just comes off. So the really tricky part to this was bringing this through here, because the other side of that grommet is back behind this piece. So it did take some finagling getting that through there and around this, and then I just followed the cable harness that was already there. Okay, and then here it is with the cover back on. Cable just comes out, just runs. Great thing about a Jeep for me, I think it's like one of the easiest vehicles to run cables in. It's just easy to get behind the carpeting and such, and so it's just, I run it across and it just kind of follows up. You can't see it because it's hidden behind everything there. So the antenna piece was actually a pretty simple part of the job. Now the difficult part is where to put the radio on the inside. So in my JK, there were a couple of screws right here, and I had just custom made a piece to fasten with those screws and attach the bracket there, and the radio just kind of sat like this. It was perfect. I could look down and see channel settings and such, control the volume and whatnot. This one does not have that. So, and this piece is a little bit shorter, doesn't quite have the length to accommodate the radio, so I think that's out. And there just isn't any other options on the dash. I've seen some people mount them up here and don't really want to do that. So one thing that I have seen is there is a company that makes a bracket that goes across up here. It goes all the way across here. It doesn't interfere with the tops. Somehow the ends are kind of flat, and they just fasten in along here somewhere. But basically what that does is it gives you a mounting bracket that you can attach your radio to right here above your head, which I like the idea of. I don't know if I like the idea of having anything interfering with when I have the Freedom tops off, and I don't know if I want to interfere with that with having a radio up here and a bar across. But right now that's really seems like the only option. One of probably the biggest holdback is the price of that. It's like a metal bar that goes across, and I want to say it was somewhere between $100 to $150, and as you can tell, I don't want to spend $30, $40 for an antenna bracket in the back. I sure don't want to spend $150 for a mounting bracket up front, so I'll probably end up just making something myself. So I'll have to follow up with you on what I end up doing there. For now, I actually have the radio right here, and you can see I've got the it's okay. Like I said, I primarily only use this when I get on the trails or I'm traveling with somebody that also has CB, so we can communicate as we're driving. Some events require you to have them, so I mean they're great for that too, but this is what I've done just as a temporary mounting point for now until I can figure something else out. Once I get that figured out, I'll update and let you know what I did, and if anybody out there has done something different or has a good solution for mounting a CB or a ham, this small style radio like this in a JL, let me know. Post in the comments, shoot me a message. I'd love to see what you've done, because I'm certainly open for ideas.